One of the central things that has constantly made the biggest difference to the Jewish community is a spirit of volunteerism. People who go above and beyond, not because they have to, not because they're paid to do it, simply because they want to make a difference to the lives of others in general and to their community. I am awed in Israel almost on a daily basis, seeing so many non-profit organizations which come up with the most innovative ways of saving food and redistributing the food from simcha halls, for instance. People who do things with the elderly. Came across recently a non-profit which is involved in documenting for elderly people their lives and helping them write their life story together. And literally every day we all encounter people whose sense of making a difference to community without any expectation of anything in return truly transforms community. The truth is that this has been the story of the Jewish people since time immemorial, and specifically this week's parasha, Parashat Truma. It always baffled me how the most important institution, the Mishkan and later the Beit HaMikdash, having God's presence amongst us in the tabernacle and the temple, was dependent on a spirit of volunteerism. People choosing to want to give to make it happen. Had they not wanted to make it happen and not volunteered for it, it wouldn't have happened. In this week's Parashat Truma, it says specifically that Hashem commands to give a Truma, but whether it will succeed or not depends on one factor. Kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu trumati. It's only a Truma, contribution, that a person feels the spirit of yidvenu libo, nedivut lev, opening their hearts and wanting to give, that there is a Mishkan, there is a Beit HaMikdash, meaning the most important repository, community organization of all. Hashem's presence amongst us is squarely dependent on people's desire for it and their ability to sacrifice and do for it. I've been privileged over the course of my community life in South Africa, now in Israel, seeing so many incredible people playing a role in community organizations, in shuls, in schools, and in all different fora, both within civic society and within the religious world, making the most incredible difference. I believe its root is in this week's parasha of Parashat Truma, that indeed, and it's also the month of the Shkalim, the Parashat Truma, as we prepare for the building of the Beit HaMikdash in Nisan, we start with the Machatzit Shekel and Shkalim, because somehow, in order for any Jewish community endeavor to succeed, and certainly for any community endeavor, it needs that spirit of volunteerism. And may we all continue to give of ourselves, to open ourselves up with the spirit of volunteerism. It is that which brings Hashem Shechina into the world. It is that which is Metakein Olam, which heals the fractures of the world. And it is that which ultimately enables Jewish communities, human society to be built. A final word I'll say, that so often one hears discussions in Israel, is that the state is not doing enough. Indeed, it's hard for the state to do everything. So often the redemption, so to speak, making a difference in so many corners of civil society and in social life depends on people who will see that fracture, see what is lacking, gather people together who will volunteer and make sure that that particular element of society which needs to be uplifted will find its redemption. May we all gain the inspiration from Parashat Truma of Yidvenu Libo to find those causes in societies which speak to us, find the gaps in society, and do everything we can to volunteer of ourselves, to sacrifice and give of ourselves, to make the world a better place. Shabbat Shalom.